Hey, what up everybody? Miss me? I bet you missed the crap out of this series. If you're wondering what inspired me to come back and do an episode, it's because I'm thinking of getting into Twitch streaming. Anyways, miss not, because I'm back with some more fire, which is a good metaphor for today's character, because it's, drumroll please, Nova Shenron. Everyone's favorite anti-hero-esque Dragonite type character from DBGT. The character whose bright orange complexion is enough to get most millennials craving Sunny D again. Anyways, enough talk, let's get into it. Alright, so Nova Shenron. This dude is pretty tall and slender, so right off the bat, I'm thinking of figure stature similar to First Form Cell, because he definitely doesn't have as much bulk as Piccolo, but he's still pretty tall and lanky. Can we take a moment to acknowledge the non-canon Scowl characters like Nova and Pycon have though? What's with that? Anyways, now that we've got an approximation for the scale of Nova, let's talk colors. Now we're at an interesting point here because with how far the line has advanced with the release of chrome powdered Metacooler looming, we've got a couple of options for Nova. The one I think is most likely would be the matted grapefruit orange type paint for his body with a purple similar to the anime Piccolo or Gohan Geese. The second, of course, would be a bright metallic version of the figure, which would cost a pretty penny more and probably serve as an exclusive if it ever were to see the light of day. As for his face, correct me if I'm wrong here guys, but I believe Nova has red irises with predominantly white space in his eyes, followed by some pink ass lips, and that's it. That's all the different colors this guy has on his face. It's a weird concept to think about, isn't it? Now the same purple used on his wings could be applied to this midsection as well, or we could see Tamashii get a little bit more creative for once depending on how much they love us, and maybe throw in a different color for contrast like a cornflower blue or something. Either way, this figure is going to be popping harder than an exotic dancer trying to make rent for the next month. Lastly, we have his fingers and toenails, which are a simple gloss black. Alright, so for expressions, I think he's likely to have, I'm going to stick with the default 3. Seeing as nothing much has changed in terms of the amount we get for standard side character releases these days, the first is going to be what I consider his default, and that's the scowl. No neutral face folks, this guy's scowl is his neutral. But you know what? It works. His second face would probably be a smirk. You know, he's like that guy from the party that finally loosens up after a few drinks and starts to show some personality, at least during his fight with Goku anyways. That reminds me of another character I might cover in Legic. Anyway, this smirk works for his character as well, and I think I'd probably display him with this expression. Lastly, and you all knew it was coming, is the good old yelly face. Like, bonus though, if we did get a fourth, I feel it should be a red glowing eyes face. And if we're going all out, maybe even a separate head with a windowed back. Like, that would be awesome because you could have translucent lens pieces for eyes, but hey, who am I to dream? Alright, for accessories, we gotta give this guy a Black Star Dragon Ball. And let's give him the 4-star ball because that makes the most sense. That's what he came from, the negative karma from that ball, right? But I'd also really like to see some sort of Nova Blast looking effects with him. And 2, not 1, 2. I've always felt Tamashii needs to step up their effects game, and this release would be no exception. Alright guys, so what do y'all think? Any drastically different opinions for Nova? Would you pick him up? I actually think I would. He has a cool aesthetic, and since we already have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, why not? Let me know what you think down below, and you know what I always say guys, may the best of your todays be the worst of tomorrows. Peace.